Yeah, what's up, y'all? This is Edward back with another video. I don't usually get. I'm gonna do a little live stream where I'm live, for the haters that want to act like I never cam up or anything, or fuck you, dude, won't you cam up? Blah 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 blah. So anyway, I'm gonna do this for like about maybe an hour. So I'll definitely put the stream in there, the link in there initially. Do a quick hangout. So anyway, shout out to Master Teacher One, as well as the other dudes on the panel. I'll probably put their links in the description eventually in this video. So keep that in mind. So pretty much this is what's going on. So we did a stream talking about credit. And for the most part, we agree. We just putting, the various points on there as far as credit, money management, stuff like that on Master Teacher One. So that was a very productive conversation. Very productive. The audience, it got up to like 150 views, definitely super chat. So good job to all of y'all, because that's the type of stuff that lets people know that that's the information that you all want. Now, you all know I've been kind of low-key bullshitting on a Classic Black Men channel. That'll probably be the channel that I pretty much jump on a little bit more to build that up on things like that, because that's more consistent on that type of information. When it comes to what I'm trying to do with this channel will be reorganized to reflect the barbershop talk that it was always supposed to reflect. So I've already talked about that. So let's move on. So as far as the credit piece, I've already talked about it before. But at the end of the day, I will announce a couple of things. Number one, Americans in general are indoctrinated early as to using credit for consumer purposes and not business purposes. So if you're going to throw a rock, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to hit that. Actually, more than 9 times out of 10. Even amongst people that use credit for business purposes, there's still things you got to keep in mind. One thing that MT talked about was the element of risk within even a business venture. So credit can be a double-edged sword, but at the same time, I still hold on to what I said about building credit. Now, another thing they want to talk about too, and this is where I was really only like truly pro credit person. Everybody at best, somebody was like in the middle, balance. And I definitely would be cool with bringing them onto my streams as I change my channel up a little bit, give a little bit of atmosphere, different flavor. Is the thing about using credit on versus wealth. One of the things that I do agree with Tone Talks, and you all know I don't like Tone Talks, is this idea of Black people have a false sense of how much money they have because of credit. And we do have to be more wealth minded. And I do think you have to be hardcore about being that, because you're not just talking about it's not a tug of war where the thing is in the middle and you're putting them a little bit to the left. People are more so on the credit and negative mindset side. So you have to be like Dave Ramsey, in which you have to sound very zealot like. So you have to keep pushing the issue. You just do. And if you're annoying people, then in my opinion, you're pushing the issue in the right way. So that was a very productive conversation. We talked, a lot of things was talked about, from consumerism to credit, to even some questions about like using credit overseas versus, just a lot of really good insightful information. So I definitely recommend you all go check that video out. I'm on the initial part and then I fall off a little bit, like halfway into it, to let other people kind of talk. And then it's a good conversation. Even I got to go through some of it because I was doing something when I had to come off, and then I came back at the end, and we'll talk about crypto and some other stuff. Yeah, it is hot as hell in Raleigh. It is hot as hell in Raleigh. But I'm in the house because I'm working. Like I said, I work from home. So anyway, now I'll be doing the stream for MT will be Saturday at 7:30 his my time Eastern. So I'll probably be doing a stream at 6:30 to lead into that. So I will be the topic that they're going to have. This is a male versus female kind of thing, or a male female co-ed conversation. Is, do Black women really have attitudes? Okay, like I said on the stream, is water wet? Is the world flat around? I mean, obviously Black women have an image of having attitudes. Obviously Black women have an attitude. So Black women, by the law averages, generally do have attitudes. There's a whole bunch of insight that I can add to that, like Black women tend to treat dudes they're not sexually attracted to very differently from dudes they are attracted to, which is obvious. But when in Black America, it's kind of amplified because black women by default have a fundamental disrespect for Black men. and you being sexually attracted to them is really what tones that down. So if a woman is sexually attracted to a dude, they are going to operate in such a way, not because they are more respectful of him, they're just being less disrespectful because there's something they want, which is their sexual satisfaction. That's what that is. That's not true in other groups. That's not true in other groups in America. So again, we're dealing with a fundamentally different thing. And that was very much personified in how Janae operated with Solo when she kept on calling him ugly and ugly and ugly. So if he would have been attractive, would any of that shit matter? If he would have been attractive to her. So this is so, and even then, she wasn't even culturally raised like a black female, but that's an American thing too, but it's also an urban, it comes from the black sector. So Xanatos Clutch can obviously speak to that. And what happens is if you're not culturally compatible with a certain type of black man, because you have what is select, which is what really it should be called culturally compatible with how black women are minded, how like what they want culturally, then everybody else they disrespect. And it's not just to do with looks. For instance, shout out to Jada Black. Jada Black has a video on this B Simone. This chick is not even extra average. She's not attractive at all. She's not attractive at all. She's not like hideous, ugly, but she's not attractive. But she's sitting here talking about, I need a man that is a fucking business owner. You want a man that's okay, that's fine. But you want a man that's a business owner. Yeah, what's up, Solo? You want a man that's a business owner. That's or this is where they always fuck up. And they even said this, like Janae and what's called even said this on the other thing. They want guys that are money minded, that are business owner minded. First of all, just because you have a 9-to-5 job does not mean you're not business minded. That doesn't mean that. That's fucking stupid. That's like saying if you're in the military, you can't be business minded. Versus if MT had what Marshall, him, and the other dude. I think it was Terrence, that both were in the armed services with him in the Air Force. So they've obviously transitioned out of that. So people come at shit with their own dumbass viewpoints based on them being narrow-minded as fuck. And it's unfortunate because it limits their opportunities. They wonder why a white woman or a non-black woman can catch shit that they don't catch. It's because they see shit that they don't see. Because they operate on this bullshit feminism. Look, the way they fuck up first is this idea that they don't need a man or to do for yourself and don't depend on your man. People say, yeah, thick 6. And B Simone ain't even good thick, as in like the body and shit is tight. Shout out to appreciate that, Andre Hatchett. Absolutely. But see, so the thing about it is this idea of I want an entrepreneur, I want this. You have entrepreneurs and you actually have dudes that are actually making money and getting money out of these streets. It is harder to secure those men because those men know their value. And that's true for dudes that are making income. So you're really telling me if a dude is making $100,000 a year, you're going to say, I'd rather deal with a dude that's making $60,000 a year just because he's business minded. The truth of the matter is, now I get what they're trying to communicate, but they're failing to articulate. What they're trying to say is that they want a guy that wants to make. I get what they're trying to say, but even with what they're trying to say is bullshit. Because you have to understand, black women in particular, only value a man's money because they can spend it. If they don't value it to build with it. And these chicks are talking that build shit, that's that level up movement shit. But the reality is that's not what it is. And notice how I'm not talking about that because the attitude, because that's going to be on the pre-show. But my thing is women value a man's money as far as what they can do with it versus do they have disposable income that I can lifestyle spend with it. When they talk to you about wanting to build, I can prove to you that they don't know, because if you actually ask them and have a conversation with them about what it doesn't mean a woman, but what value a person would bring as far as building, aka networking. Maybe people they've networked with they don't know, aka what skills do they have that the other person doesn't have that opens up opportunities they may not be focused on. These women have nothing to fucking say because there is nothing to say because they don't fucking know, because that is bullshit. They want a man with money because they want a man with the disposable income to just basically blow. ARC called a generous spending guy. And here's what's ironic. These are not even the guys they respect. A woman respects black women respect men they are sexually attracted to a hell of a lot more than men can give them money and shit. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna check that out. Appreciate it. The Cash App, Roastmaster, Dollar Washer, Roastmaster, they always coming through. And shout out to Andre too. Andre is another guy that definitely is a little probably more qualified to talk with Master Teacher than I am, especially in real estate. So I'm trying to, connect. Obviously, these people are all known through solo. So let me not act like I'm doing something. But at the end of the day, I just like that networking piece. I know Ramil has an up-and-coming channel. He don't need nobody. But at the same time, he wanted to talk about more business shit. Obviously, MOT has 16 subscribers. Obviously, Andre Hatchett's been in the game in high level in real estate, as well as his notary stuff, which is actually another shout out to Andre Hatchett, his notary business, which is a skill that you can learn very quickly that can actually make you money. I can tell you, I've done only a couple of. I bought his program. I've only done a couple of notaries myself. It's just something I didn't feel like doing because in North Carolina, it's different state to state. So if you're in more highly populated states, or populated cities, like the top 10, you don't have to be that, but it's definitely a bigger market for that than where I am with Raleigh, where traffic isn't always big and stuff like that, and the way you would use it. But I ended up buying it. I bought it. I got my I could actually go downstairs and in fact, I can hold on one second. I actually got, this was like years ago because I had this shit for a while now. I got my notary stuff. I went to the class, went to community class, signed up for the course, sign up for his course. So his shit is good. So if you're somebody where you live in a solid city, especially if it's New York, Chicago, whatever, you definitely get his course because his course will show you what to do, how to go about doing it. It's definitely worth it. And that's something that if you're somebody, you're just trying to look for something to do that can actually pay you dividends that you can pick up and go, that's good. So shout out to Andre Hatcher for that. Just go to his channel. He talks about it all the time. Appreciate that, T3. Also, obviously, one thing I like about Andre is Andre knows a lot of people. So with people he interviews, you got people that's doing big stuff in apartments, big stuff in real estate, flipping, wholesale. So he has a whole network that's really behind him. So when you look at his channel, the value of his channel is not necessarily in sub views or count. It's in the quality of the content based on the networking and learning from people, particularly black men, but also women that are really doing that. That's one thing I like about Erica as well as Andre. So yeah, that's $5 worth of promotion, even though he was doing that just to be cool. I definitely wanted to shout him out. But anyway, but like I said, Solo, like Carl and Ramil, like Solo knows them. So as far as, and he knows MT. So it's just that stuff. We have people that like to talk about business. So I like networking that. So obviously MOT does this stuff with contracts. So he has a different angle to pull from it, and I understand what you all are saying about having to be multidimensional in the manosphere. There's a lot of things that people can go, but going back to what I was talking about before is the thing about it is just like how Level Up is a brand. And if you notice, black women are starting to get associated with the Level Up movement. Like they're starting to get associated with the Level Up brand. And Level Up is not a positive brand because when women say they're leveling up, what are you leveling up from? Like if that's always who you were, see what women understand Level Up to be is, well, we were giving black men or giving a certain group of men all these fucking chances And now we're just done doing that. We're done doing that. They want to make it seem like they were doing a pro-black thing and accept that, you know, the black man is getting his ass kicked by white supremacy all the time. So we need to give him a leg up. And now we're done doing that. Now it's time for us as women to be taking care of as women. That's not what the fuck you were doing. What you were doing is you were basically fucking the dudes you were sexually attracted to. It's alpha fucks, beta bucks. Now you're done. You've been ran through by the alphas, or you realize that you're not going to secure an alpha the way you want, or you're at least holding out. And so now you want to go for the dudes that's got money. It's really that simple. So now usually with level up females, they tend to be 35 and older because these are last bus stop chicks. These are chicks that now they realize their stock is declining. This is what the wall is. And now what they want to do is they want to fucking retire. It's cash out. It's just like when women, if you're a basketball player or like Shaq or something, or like what Dwayne Wade did, and you get that last contract, or you get that last sort of contract before you leave the NBA, you're cashing out. That's what that is. That's what that means. What's up, Sigma Jones? Sigma Jones with the super chat. Do you think black men should take advantage of NACA and low interest rates for home ownership in this economy? Appreciate your content. Absolutely. NACA is one of the things that I'm very passionate about because I've been involved in the organization. It's an organization that actually does something. And when I say does something, I mean, the more black people need to increase their amount of home ownership in spades. And as an organization, it is not black only, but it is black focused that is dedicated to doing that. And I have tremendous respect for them doing that. These are black churches because a lot of their where they do their meetings are in black churches. So obviously the infrastructure, the offices are not necessarily in the church, although they could be. These are the people that are actually doing this are people that are mortgage holders. These are black mortgage holders. They're not all black, but they're mostly black. But they're mortgage holders. When I say mortgage holders, they're mortgage brokers. These are people that own businesses. These are people that do shit. Most of these NACA counselors are people that do shit. These are not just some fucking social worker that they just got a job. Because there's incentives behind them getting people into shit that incentivizes. There's a reason NACA has such a low turnover on their loans, and that's because they make sure your finances are fucking for real. And that's another thing. Even going through the NACA program has somebody else looking at your finances and doing a lot of what MT does. So, absolutely. But also, what I would say too is that there's other. Make sure y'all can still hear me. There's other programs. A lot of your banks have bigger banks have a first time home buyers program that makes it so you don't have to put full 20% down. So I'm not somebody like NACA only, but also if you already own a house but you only own one house, NACA has a save program that allows you to basically get the interest rate with NACA. All you got to do is type in www.naca.com and it'd give you the interest rate. Right now, the interest rate on the 30-year fix is 3.112. And see the thing, which is less than you're going to find anywhere else, period. And that is something and that's not even a credit-based interest. So even if your credit is garbage, but you got a great job and you have no debts, college debt, as long if it's deferred, it doesn't have to be paid off. You can get access to that interest. So that alone will help you out. So yeah, you definitely should. Even if you don't do it, somebody that could benefit from that. Now, obviously, we live in a turbulent time right now, so it's a little bit different. But right now, NACA might be the best way for people to get a house first time because these banks are making it harder when it comes to credit and stuff like that because they're having to shore up their shit. Notice how you don't hear me talk about Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and shit like that. So yeah, you should know about it to spread it because that's the type of game. That's the type of stuff you should be telling your family members and tell them to tell somebody else. I mean, I post shit like everything that I post on my main Facebook channel is not something that'll directly benefit me. I do have a spirit of giving information away that's valuable or pointing people in a direction because that's the power of social media. Going back to these bitches though, these level up bitches. And that's another topic that's another topic I want to have because black men have an issue spending a lot of their disposable income directly, indirectly on hoes. And even if you don't think you're a hoe, chances are you're a hoe. So I'm also telling black men to not waste their money I'd rather spend the money on a chick I have no problem. I have no intention of fucking for a business deal. And when I talk about that shit, that could be network marketing. That could be a lot of shit versus spending money on a bitch that if she really liked me, she would fuck me without taking her out. I didn't create Netflix and chill. Women didn't have to go along with Netflix and chill. So if I don't get the Netflix and chill plan, no. And the reality is they think some ritual about them spending money. Appreciate that, Marathon Man. And I try. And the thing about it is, you know, when it comes to my communication skills, I can get very passionate. And then I can start sucking up oxygen in the room. You know, I've been cussed out for that. I understand that. Hold on one second. Don't time this person out. I got time for this. Okay, so we got a dumbass. Let's see. You know, what the fuck is that shit is? I was checking you the same way Janae was testing you. You should learn to focus your energy on things that matter. No trolls or someone wanting attention. What the fuck are you talking about? Let your emotions. Okay, time that. Don't time him out. Solo's going in with him, whatever, because he ain't saying shit. Yeah, you can. A lot of people don't know. Okay, so let me explain that real quick. Buying your rate down with NACA is as follows. Let's say you have $100,000. Let's say you have a $100,000 house. Obviously, most places are not going to be that. It's for math. You have a $100,000 house. Give me a second. All right, let's say you have a $100,000 house. I know. I'm just talking to y'all right now. I'm not really. If somebody want to show up, they can show up. But I'm really just on here. $100,000 house. What we're talking about is NACA buy rate down. $100,000 house, and then the mortgage is 3.125. That's what the NACA mortgage is right now. So, and it's less if you do 15 years, it's like 2.53, and it's been fluctuating between 3 straight and 2.15. So buying the rate down, first of all, you can buy the rate down to, I think, 0.1 for 0.1% for NACA. So what that means is you can buy the rate down in quarters. So you can buy, so basically, you know, obviously a quarter of one is 4. It takes 4 quarters to make 1. So that means 4 times 3. That means you have 12 slots right now. If that were to get the 3.25, you have 13. So each slot, if you pay 1% of the total mortgage, so 1% of the total mortgage, excuse me, 1% of 100K is 1,000. We all know basic math. So if that's the case, you could pay up to $1,000 slots. So basically what you can do is actually the mortgage. So you have the mortgage, the homeowner's insurance, your taxes, and you don't pay mortgage insurance with NACA. So that's another way you save. So that you never pay, even though you don't put any money down with a NACA loan. So that 100,000, they're looking at can you pay a loan based on that 100,000? So the mortgage plus homeowners plus taxes, You got HOA fees, you know, that too. And then the interest, the mortgage is a part of the interest as well as the what you pay plus interest. So the buy down of the interest rate is designed to pay that down. So for example, let me give you an example of what the difference that makes. I'm talking about a lot of shit, so I don't give a fuck. So let's take this house, this 3 bedrooms, 3 bath. No, actually, you know what? I want to do something else. I want to do something else. Sorry, this is taking forever. Appreciate the super chat, y'all. And Roastmaster, appreciate the $50 super chat, man. I still need to do that. I'm going to get that video done with the I still need to do the gun video. I need to do, and I'm gonna get Ty City to do that. Because he needs help, you know, he needs somebody to help him with his subs. And I'm also gonna do the video on like different eras of women when it comes to what was portrayed on TV. So let's search Wake County, which is the county I live in. Let's do price, and let's do 240. Yeah, y'all can see my screen. So let's look at some. Let's take a good house. That's too. See, I wouldn't like that because that's too much land. See, me personally, I want a townhouse, but I want to get y'all something that's like in the 2s. Let's do this. 235. This is actually in Raleigh, so this is not that far from downtown, and so this is actually a really good spot. In fact, this is over there by. This is in a good spot. This is not too far from me. So good house, whatever. Now, obviously, I would get something that's new construction, but that's me. But that's not my point. My point is right here, it says estimate payments. So calculate estimate payments, monthly payment. This is the monthly payment. Now, this is based on $47 in down payment. So let's get rid of that. So no down payment. This is what you'd have to pay. So this is a part of your mortgage. So principal and interest, property tax, homeowners insurance, mortgage insurance. So in NACA, you don't have to pay mortgage insurance. So right now, this is really just $1270. It's $1272 is the real price. Let me see if can y'all see that? Yeah, y'all should be able to see that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, y'all should be able to see that better. So with the interest rate, let's say you cut that down and you put that 0.1. You see that? That's what that goes down to $1,000. Now, what on 235,000 with a 30 fixed? All right, let's take y'all to NACA.com so y'all can see that. Right now, the interest rate on NACA is what I said, right here and right here. So it's 237 on 15-year, that on that. So we'll go through the 237 as well. And I'm going to pop off of this in a second. But anyway, in order to get to that 1062, what you'd have to do is you'd have to basically put $12,000 on it. If you put $12,000 on it, you're paying $1,062 for just for a 3-bedroom house, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 15 square foot house. Now, obviously, so my point is, if you can get something, let me show something a little bit more significant than that. Because you can get, like, let's change the max out. Let's max it out at like, let's max it out at 180. See, 176, 150. Like, even if you did something like this, which is actually really good, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If you would have flipped that, you're paying $751. That's with 20% down. If you remove, that's 162. You do 0.1 interest, because that's 768. And then minus the 152, that's 668. That's 618. You be paying $618 on basically a house. Look at that. And this is more of a brand new house. And Nightdale is an upcoming area. There's actually a YouTuber out here that I'm not going to name because I ain't trying to put his business out here, but it's a known YouTuber. So my point is, think about that. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. You got a room. You rent that out with somebody else that out. You essentially could be damn near paying no money. That's my point. That's my point. So that's and you buyer rate. Yeah, that's my point about the buyer rate down. So for $12,000, you basically are paying a hell of a lot less than you otherwise be paying. So my point to that is, no matter where you live or region in the United States, chances are, unless it's like a couple of cities like San Francisco, New York, something like that, chances are you would actually be paying. If you get like a townhome, which is something that's going to sell, like when you think about buying a house and say, okay, whatever I buy, I need to know I can sell this if I need to sell it. You will probably be paying less money per month owning a home, where that stuff is, if you own a home, if you're there for 3 years, that's going to build value than you otherwise would be doing renting. And then that's not even counting if you roommate with somebody. So if you're somebody in your 20s and you're stable, that's the reason why I talk about NACA so much. Now, you can't really do that with any other program. Now, there's places you can put less down and shit like that, but the interest manipulation you can't do. And so there's a lot of applications for that. So anyway, I see, look, I went from 76 to like 40. This is what happens when you talk about credit and shit. So see, ain't nobody else on. There's no reason why my shit should have dropped off. The only person that's on other than me is Mr. Fantastic, and he ain't on no ain't on no more. And you got dumb ideas by stupid people, and he's doing 97. So anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a little after show with that and give y'all a preview of what's to come. But yeah, I mean, and the thing about it is, it's simple shit. Like, here's the thing: if we're in 2020 and black women, my thing is, like I said, if you all are not going to acknowledge that you all have attitude problems, then it's really nothing to talk about. How are you like, but see, what they will say is that black men do what they do because of colorism. Well, that's just to allow you, that's just to allow you all to justify why you do what you do. And my thing is, dudes are not going, you can't just say, don't believe your lying eyes. Dudes are not going to play that game with you. And that's why women stay getting mad. And like, why a lot of the higher tier dudes, economically, physically, and both, why black women have a hard time of dealing with them, because black women lie to themselves. They tell themselves, oh, well, we don't have an attitude. I'm talking about as a collective group, because that's what I'm going to aim it at. I'm not talking about individuals. Just because they didn't have an attitude in one moment doesn't mean black women don't have an image problem when it comes to attitude. And by the way, black women embrace having a problem, having being an attitude more than anybody. This is why they say, oh, I need a man to handle me. Well, if you're not hard to handle, then you wouldn't say that. I need a man that can check me. I only hear black women say that shit. This is not to mean that Latin women don't need to be checked, but I only hear black women advertise that. And so they buy into these negative stereotypes as much as anybody does. And so people say, well, why am I having these conversations with them? Because, number one, it's entertaining. But number two, it allows you all to see how they respond when just simple shit is presented. It allows you to see the insanity of it. Like, you're really going to, that's like me saying that black men don't have a pussy problem. Fuck the women for a second. That's like me saying that black men don't have a pussy issue. Oh, well, black men don't let pussy, fucking dictate a lot of their decisions. That would be fucking retarded for me to say. That's like me saying black men don't have an issue wanting to fuck fat bitches. Now, am I in that category? No. But as a collective, yes. And it goes to show you it's an IQ issue. Where at that point, women, they can't even even though they're high-minded, they can't think in high-minded terms. They can't think in terms of, well, as a collective group, is this an issue? And we know it is. We know it is. We know, black men have no problems saying what the collective issues are, even if you don't fall into it. You hear it all the time with black men trying to push the black on black crime bullshit. They'll try to say, oh, well, black men have a black on crime issue, or I even say black men don't really work together when it comes to business. I've acknowledged y'all, the females are easier to do that with than black men. So, but I understand that's an issue, and I understand it needs to be improved. Black women don't ever want to admit that they have a problem. I would say this. This is what I would ask, and this is what I'm going to ask them. I'm going to say, can you name me any issue that black women have collectively that they need to improve? Go. If the attitude ain't one, tell me what one is. And they're going to try to say some shit like, well, we have an issue with dealing with dudes for potential and, not dudes are already there. Okay, why? Why do you deal with a dude as a potential? And now what they'll try to do is they'll try to use race as a mech. Oh, well, we understand that the black man is kicked down. That's bullshit. Because there's nobody you would deal with that has potential that hasn't passed. You don't never deal with dudes that have potential when it comes to sexual marketplace value. That has to be in place all the time. So my point is, AKA, you give exceptions for people you want to fuck, because at the end of the day, there's a sexual need you need satisfied. So at that point, they are serving a need. This is why when you think about shit like pump and dump, these bitches are being fucked. That's payment enough. You came, the end. I don't owe you a relationship. The fuck? Y'all out here talking about y'all don't need a relationship. So the fuck, and so it's simple shit. And it's like this, and somebody that's been in the manosphere as long as I have, it's like literally being fucking having damn me a PhD candidate, and then me going to kindergarten, talking about arithmetic, and then having to argue arithmetic. 1 + 1 is 2. Why? The fuck you mean why? This person needs to go back in preschool because they might be retarded. No, I'm going to have a conversation as to why. Do black women have an attitude problem? Yes, they have that perception. Is it true? 80% of the time? Yes. It is. And it's not just dark-skinned women. It's the culture. Well, we need to defend our name. You can't. You need to defend your name like Bernie Madoff needs to defend his. You need to defend your name like Jeffrey Epstein. You need to defend your name on Sandusky. Cosby can legitimately defend his name, even on the white supremacist system. Good luck. But Cosby has a lot more of a case to say that he wasn't like that than black women have. Like, we have decades. What are we talking about here? You all think because you say it doesn't exist that it doesn't? Is that what we're going to do? Then they're going to start talking about why they have attitudes. Then it's going to be society's fault, racism's fault. They don't have a father's fault. That's like me saying, If I smack a bitch, it doesn't matter why. I did it. So I'm a bad person in the eyes of the society. But see, there's nothing that women do that's bad, that's not justified to something else. And that's a game. Just like when white women lie on black men and they say it's because of their racist family. No, bitch, you're a liar. You buy into the same system. So anyway, you know, I got shit all day when it comes to that shit. And there's value because I love talking to the motherfuckers at Facebook. Because I even said this to a chick on Facebook today. I said, you know, Facebook is easy because you can think about what you're going to say. And when you're on YouTube, you got to verbalize what you're going to say in real time. And this is where we know what the fuck is really going on. And the thing about that, a lot of women, that I would say to a lot of women, because I said I'm going to be productive, is you all, there's things that you all never consider. This is why you all, we sit and have these circular arguments, because you all are just trying to sound smart, but when you all have not acknowledged, you all haven't thought about certain shit. Because in your mind, men are supposed to put you in a happy place. And it's not our job. Like the reality, first of all, assholes is who you like. So if you're going to give somebody advice, the best advice you can give a dude if their outcome is to fuck women is to say, be yourself unapologetically, and be the asshole version of yourself, and don't be afraid to tell a bitch to kiss your ass, and then that's because their chances are be more attracted to you. The nicer you are to them, the less they respect you, because they think you're being nice as an overcompensation of something you're lacking. This is how they've been programmed. That's just real talk. And it doesn't matter how you look. That's true even if you're not the most attractive dude to women. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. I'll have to make sure what I say is understand that when I go in there, I could blow it up, or I could be more productive in giving them something that they would actually be useful to them. They won't listen. Food for thought is usually thrown away, but it is what it is. So, you know, that being said, you know, I put the link down there. Ain't nobody popping up. That's cool. You know, obviously, shout out to Andre Hatchett. Make sure you go to his channel. All of y'all should be subscribed to Andre Hatchett's channel. And I've said that even when he's never given me money. Shout out to T3. These videos will keep coming. Janitor's Clutch in the building. Solo is in the building. Shout out to Sigma Jones. You know, Marathon Man, King. I had your stuff on here too. And shout out to Roastmaster. Roastmaster is probably one of my strongest donators. You know, so I appreciate that. Roastmaster donates to everybody. He's one of the financiers of the Manosphere. Between him, Dollar Washer got $5 for everybody. Even though he ain't in here, I want to acknowledge that. And real talk, a lot of y'all, Roastmaster, you should just have a channel. Not even because you need a channel, just to get people sub so they can follow you when you comment on shit. Same thing with Dollar Washer. Because we appreciate that shit. You know, that shit goes longer than you think. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna do a pre-stream on Saturday. That's gonna be some fun shit. A pre-stream, a post-stream. And here's the thing: even if Ramil and what's called does the post-stream at the same time, Ramil, you know, Ramil shit is always lit, and Solo shit is always lit. So, and now that we starting to see that even with the business stuff, there's some diversified stuff. Once we start getting some different females, that's another thing too that I told MT. These chicks got to recognize, I don't have a problem with any of them personally, but when women understand that this is the place you want to be and you don't have to be on there, there's always 2 or 3 females that can be brought up. A lot of that bullshit tends to be siphoned off. Because real talk, when I was looking at their channels and how many subscribers they had, understand, even coming on my channel was a privilege, because at the end of the day, I'm capable of raising them up like 1,000 because I have an active audience. So again, and when you understand that they're female and when they get in the general algorithm where it's easier for women than it is dudes, because women are more into social media and certain topics, it's value when we can get them to 5,000 because they can jump from 5,000 to 10. And as in the manosphere, we need to recognize that whether we're dealing with females or men. This is why you never hear Shout out to Dollar Watcher. Like I said, I was bigging you up. You never really see me. I never try to over promote myself. I don't do that. I could go through these videos, make sure I get my link thrown out there, make sure I do all that, and then I could have probably been at 10K by now. And eventually I will do that. But I want to build my channel more organically, and then I can always double back in lightning round that. So anyway, I mean, yeah, exactly. And I believe in giving value to get value. I don't believe in taking. And we need more brothers like that. That's why when you talk about sharing free information, I take some of these folks up on it, but I'm also willing to pay for information I get too. Like with that, a lot of that stuff with the credit stuff, because I'm actually going to start doing videos about helping credit on stuff that I've learned because and stuff that I've done. Because at the end of the day, I get what they're saying, and you should split your focus. But the thing is, you also need small wins. And regardless, if you have a good credit score, that gives you confidence. That gives people confidence in you. When you're a black man with a good credit score, motherfuckers will look at you differently. Sorry. And so I'm going to have a video with some counterpoints to what they said. That's not going to be this video, but I'll probably post that maybe Friday. It'll be my day off. And I'm going to see if I can find some people that's pro credit and we have that conversation, because that's not a either or. It's you need to keep all the stuff in mind. Just like when you're looking at going to getting educated for higher income, it's not about school and not school. It's about, if you want to do the military, get educated. If you want to do college, it's everything. And that's really what it's supposed to be. So anyway, appreciate all y'all. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.